Hey everybody, we're here at Woodward West for the finals of the USABMX Freestyle Series, Championship Series, with Shane Fernandez, president of USA BMX Freestyle and USA BMX, correct?
That's correct, yep.
Okay, so what I want to talk about with Shane is the where we were and where we are, because as some of you might remember, we did the live stream and we kind of announced all of this before it actually became a thing. And before that, there were conversations had between Shane and I talking just about what it would take and the things to focus on for this. So let's talk about where we were and where we are.
It's crazy. Yeah, our first conversation, Brent, we were just talking ideas like what this would look like, especially from the amateur side, right, and development.
Yeah.
Took those ideas, and then, you know, you and I had kind of that launch. But I told our team last week, 1 year ago, we took our first digital comp. And just in that 1 year, we've had 10 digital comps, 7 live events, right? And 3 UCI C1 events. So to say this is working, it's incredible.
Right.
It's,
what was like let's just go over what was the original like intent and goal, and what was it trying to accomplish?
Well, yeah, first is obviously to engage that amateur rider. And so the digital comms, if you remember, were designed where riders who weren't in a network or maybe didn't have access to a crowd or a group, they could get on our radar and learn more about it, especially the parents. Then you activate those local parks to get the excitement and that passion. And then those riders start figuring things out, and then the families take them to like a Woodward and they see the training aspect of it, the development side. So it's been awesome just in this year to watch how the riders have progressed, but really also to how they have fed off one another. The parents constantly saying, hey, you know, my son wouldn't drop in, and he comes here, and the first day, you know, his friends, he's dropping in, right? So it's like a ripple effect. The momentum's been incredible.
Yeah, so we focused on all those things in the conversations that we had in the beginning, and then in the first, what did the first year look like? Because there was the championship last year in December.
So first year was COVID, right? So It was a digital comp literally 1 year ago, last weekend. And then we went, actually we were going to have that national final here in California. Had to switch, right? So we went to Pennsylvania, got that done in December, and took a little bit of break, and then we hit the ground running, right? So Tucson being the first one in 2021.
So how would you say the first digital comp and first finals at Woodward, like all of that went, being that it was the first part of it?
Well, yeah, so it was, of course, just like anything, like baby steps, right? But they were really good baby steps in the right direction. Really listen to the parents and the riders after that first live comp, especially. Heard a lot of great things, but took those recommendations and just made sure that as when we went into 2021, we picked those things up, and we're going to do the same thing with this. We'll get done with this, take a break. Already told the team, hey, we're going to reach out to parents and the riders, and we've got some other people with ideas and talk about what we're going to change for 2022.
Right. So comparing last year, 2020 to 2021. How would you say things have changed or grown? Or
just from a personal, I said we've exceeded expectations, I think, in terms of what we thought this could be. The excitement and more so not our perception, but just from the feedback we're getting. Today with triple digit entries at the
over 100.
Over 100, yeah.
Whoa.
It's gaining momentum. So I think for me though is, you know, what is that? What do you measure success by? And it's really hearing either the riders saying, thank you for doing this, and have personally seen the progression of these riders from when we had that first event in Tucson to now, and what they're getting ready to throw down tomorrow. And then the parents saying one of two things: thank you, because we've built a network, or other parents saying we had no idea, and this really has changed the way we look at this, and they've all bought in.
It's really cool to hear, because I mean, you'd say it's grown, right?
Right. Oh yeah.
It's gone from being an idea before anything was ever announced, like we want to do this, to I mean, we're here. This is real.
That's right. And Brent, just to also give you a good person, we've had 7 countries enter this
Wow.
competition. So this is, and we've had other countries reach out saying, hey, how do we take what you guys have done and replicate? Can you help us replicate that here? So, this is, but and you remember you and I talk about this. We were both passionate. This has got to be designed by freestylers, and so this is really the vision of yourself and those conversations and everybody who had an idea, and we really just kind of took your recommendations, said, all right, let's try it.
Doing a fantastic job, and like went from the ideas to last year at Woodward East to this year being Woodward West, over 100 entries. Yeah. So like you'd say it's successful in like what it was supposed to be and what it has become. Yeah. Like achieved the goals kind of.
I think we've exceeded and actually we've achieved things we didn't even realize last year when we launched this, right? We had hopes, and it's like, okay, we'll see how this goes, and all of a sudden the feedback coming in, we're just like, oh my gosh. I mean, it just makes you genuinely and authentically happy for the freestyle community, right? When you're hearing it. So
absolutely. So being that it's been a success so far, and you kind of like, in the beginning, it was like there's this goal, and right. Now we're at the goal. Like, what's the next steps?
Yeah, so next step, we're going to add 2 more live competitions. So we want to get that in, the center of the United States. So,
right.
We're looking at like Texas or St. Louis, perhaps. The other thing too is like lowering the digital comps. So we had 10 this year, but we did that on purpose because we weren't sure with COVID, like how many. What things were going to be like. So we just want to make sure there was that part of it, right? So, and then the other thing too is just really getting kind of a survey. We're going to get that out and look at that for December. Probably have 3 more C1s as part of the series. The other thing we're going to do too is we're going to if it's not a C1 event, I want to kind of mix up the courses a little bit, add a little bit of street and just to give us some variety. Mm-hmm. The C1s, obviously, it's got to be park, right? So,
right.
Yeah, but besides that, I think it's our job to kind of diversify a little bit.
Right, and in talking about the importance of inclusivity and making it accessible, which are like really, really big, important parts to this, like adding the middle of the country being that like you're doing things all around the country, and we talked about this a little bit earlier, but it's making it even more accessible, and like that's the part that I want to hit on is like it's accessible. This thing that is being built is accessible.
The first video comp is my favorite story. We got an entry, and this was a ramp system in like the middle of the country, like when I say like rural America somewhere. The horizontals were just grass with some quarter pipes, and this rider was killing it. Highest score in the region. Parents called and they said, "Hey, this is great. How did my son do overall?" And I looked it up and I said, interestingly enough, highest score, and had he entered an expert, he would have been in the top 6.
Wow.
It changed their perspective because they're just like, thank you, because we had no idea. We knew it was good, had no idea how to even relate. So how do we get more involved? Easy. This is how you do it, right? So that's what we hope, So I think if we can identify when a Ryan Nyquist or a Jamie Staff shows up and they're like, oh my gosh, who is that rider? We've done our job, right?
Yes.
Or we have parents coming up saying, thank you. This is a new journey for us. We've done our job. That's success.
Absolutely. And I would agree fully. And I think that you guys have kept the right values in mind with all of this, and that's why I want to do these talks and talk about these things so that more and more people can know about this, because anyone can enter these digital contests.
That's right.
Like, literally anybody can do it, and I think that's really awesome. You had the master class with people over 40, and there was like a bunch of guys in this, and it's just really awesome to see this type of thing going on and gaining this much traction. Yeah. I just think it's amazing, and to have USABMX, a pretty huge thing, have freestyle division side of it doing something like this, it's just awesome.
Well, no, we're so excited. This is honestly, as you look at our team, just genuine excitement about the progress of it.
Right, and one thing I want to hit on before just keeping going with the accessibility side of things, you told me earlier about how the live contest, only 2 of them are something.
So the points are weighted, So, and the reason we do that is we understand on the amateur side, you don't have to hit every competition. We have those competitions so people can access them. But on the live events, for example, we only take the top 2 scores. So that way you have a throwaway if you have it, or if you can't get to one, right? But you come to the national, today's or tomorrow's event, that one's worth double, right? So it's weighted. And then the digital ones, we take the top 5 of those, so or top 7. And again, it's really just, you can go to any pool and do those, right? It's 40. It's literally an
Anywhere,
iPhone. You send it to us on Instagram. So we try to make it as easy, as simple as possible, but you don't have to hit everything, and it's designed that way because we understand a lot of people don't have those resources and time, and so it's we didn't want to have riders who were perhaps not at that level, but they had access and resources to hit every event. We also didn't want to make sure we had those riders who were exceptional but didn't have resources. We want to make sure we saw them and gave them a shot at it too.
Right, and I think that it's an amazing thing, the way it's grown, the way it seems to be going for the future. So for anyone who has no idea what this is, where do they find the information to learn more?
Yeah, so you can just go right to USABMXFreestyle.com, or you can go USABMXF.com. So we've got both. And then also our Instagram, USABMX Freestyle. And yeah, we just keep it simple, right? It's just through social media, or when you get on the website, you can register there.
Absolutely. So, I mean, this is essentially for riders by riders.
Yeah,
like
that's exactly right.
It's what it is, and it's exactly what I think that aspect of BMX needs, and I think it's amazing. So, thank you,
dude. No, thank you.
I know everybody's telling me all this stuff, but you guys are making it happen. So, thank you for that. And
this is truly a team effort. When I see team, it's all the riders and families here, everybody that took the time to meet about this. And again, we're not there yet. We're just going to keep evolving.
Absolutely. I mean, to end it with a cap, I mean, Shane is the president of USA BMX and USA BMX Freestyle, and he's willing to just come out here and just have a chat with me to put on the internet. So,
appreciate you, dude. Yeah,
thank you. Another fist bump. So check it out if you haven't yet, and hopefully you guys enjoyed something from this enough to want to check it out. Watch the contest. It's going to be amazing, right?
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. So watch it if you haven't, and subscribe if you haven't as well. We'll see you tomorrow for another video. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.